بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد المغفر لله صلاة دائما كله إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How's everybody? Alhamdulillah, barakallah fiik. So welcome, and first and foremost, we would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us tawfiq and hidayah to be divine enablement and also success to be able to come here safely in the peak hours. Not easy, right? MashaAllah. And we thank the team at SMU for organizing such important and beneficial activities over the years. I believe your lifestyle event and other events that has been benefiting hundreds, if not thousands of individuals. So may Allah bless your team and everybody who has been involved in organizing such important activities, and keep on at it. Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your strive. Alhamdulillah. So welcome back, and my name is Mohamed Sameer, and so we have been given a topic which is close to heart, right? Where we're going to talk about purity of heart or purifying our heart. Or the topic presented by SMU Society is healing our hearts. So most of you who sign up for this session means you all have been through quite a number of heartbreaks lah. Is that true? Is that why you want to come and get some snippets on how to patch up or balm your hearts? But other than, of course, mashallah. But such is the world. Such is the world. And it is this world that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put to test our hearts. And the heart is like a compass. So before we go into, inshallah, the more technical things, first and foremost, I would like to bring your attention to this particular ayat in the Holy Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions chapter 26 of the Quran in verse 89. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that only those who come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a pure heart will attain salvation. Qalbun salim. If we bring what is other than qalbun salim, which is a corrupted heart or a tainted heart or a stained heart or a broken heart even, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you do not get a direct access of entrance into his pleasure before accountability. So the importance of purifying the heart before we return back the hearts to the true owner is very important. The simple analogy is like this. Someone gives you a very, very expensive amana. He give you, someone you have been presented with an expensive diamond, right? And they said, hold on to this diamond for 60 years, and when the time comes, return it back to me as it was. What should a responsible person do? Keep it in a safe place, under lock and key, protect it from the thieves and the robbers and etc. Right? And when you want to return it back, you'll double inspect and check that everything is in order. You might want to add on a bit of polishing, etc. before you give back to the owner. But if at the time to return back this important trust, which is a very expensive trust, if there were scratches here and there, and you've been using it without proper accountability, and when the owner sees that, hey, there's a lot of scratches here, but I didn't give you in this manner, how will we be able to answer to the original owner? Will we be then be accepted with full redemption, or they will be questioning? Hey, I gave you a beautiful diamond. What happened? What happened to my diamond? It's a very expensive thing. It's $1 billion worth of commodity. What have you done with it? Did you do it in accordance to my preferences and my instructions, or did you just use it in any way that you deem fit? All right. Who is the true owner of our hearts? Number one, we have to understand. All right. And that is, Hassan, shall I just show the small? Can I just put it up? Is that fine? Okay. Okay. Good. Right. And also, we want to bring attention to the situation that's happening in the Middle East and in Palestine and Gaza at the moment. And we, as much as, mashallah, many of us are, they call keyboard warriors, reposting this and reposting that and getting angry and full of angst. It's a good thing. It's important that you have concern for your brothers and sisters and the different parts of the ummah. When the different parts of the ummah feels any pain and oppression, it is of faith that we feel something. It is not of right order that we don't feel anything and we are numb to it. But as much as we are reposting this and ranting on social media, we should not be contributing to the oppression. And subconsciously, we may be contributing to the oppression. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never raise a leader over us unless they are suitable and deserving of our iman. If you see oppressor ruling over us, that's because of the state of every single one of us. Well, we rant on the everything, but on the right hand got McDonald's burger. On the left hand got Starbucks. After that, we subscribe to Netflix. All of it, which, if you understand the paradigm of all this system, you are feeding whom, you are funding whom. Right? But that aside, mashallah, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us in another reminder in Surah Mujadilah, in chapter 58 of the Quran, in verse 11. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will only elevate us, will only liberate us in accordance to our faith, number one, our iman in that sense, how we truly believe, and how much of knowledge we have of what is required of us. Then we will see liberation, we will see freedom, we will see success. Until then, we can do nothing much about the situation, but we can do something about the situation by changing ourselves, number one. That will contribute to the collective energy where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees the community which is preserving in seeking knowledge, in doing what is required individually. Then He will enforce collective change upon the ummah. Until and when there are other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our hearts, deep-rooted desires and whims and fancies and other attachments other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's a far cry to ask for anything else that can change the situation elsewhere in our Muslim ummah. So number one, purifying the heart is not just simply, purifying the heart of diseases like hatred, jealousy, or bad characteristics, and etc. Purifying the heart will actually will create a collective energy to help our ummah and change our ummah. It is an important individual obligation that the ummah has left. That's why the ummah is in peril, ready to be eaten by wolves, and no one to ask anybody anything. All right, so mashallah, this topic is important, and it's a call of duty. It's a call of duty. As much as, mashallah, we are seeking knowledge on how to make ends meet and to put food on the table, there's another obligation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the trust to every single ummah, this precious heart. Look into your heart and what it contains. Love of money, love of desires, love of other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, love of boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. When one doesn't work out, see how painful your heart is. How many of you have been through heartbreaks? Oh, I can't live without that guy, and I can't live without this girl. And people go to the extremes in love, don't they? All right? Subhanallah. What has happened to our hearts? The hearts, actually, the truest potential of the hearts is much more than love for the temporal and attention for the temporal. Hey, don't be so serious. So sorry. I started off a bit heavy. But it is important. The topic is important. And thank you for this opportunity to remind all of us, me and yourself, that this is a call of duty. Purifying the heart is not only left for the saints and the teachers and the asatiza, but it's a call of duty to everyone. So we take this opportunity to remind each other why we are here and why we need to embark on this discovery of purifying our hearts. And we need to do it seriously, and we need to score well at it. Right? So before we proceed into other aspects of this topic, inshallah, let us be reminded, why do we need to purify the heart? So in other sense, why do we need to keep ourselves acquainted with circles of knowledge, circles of zikr, remembrance of God, circles of pious people and practicing people, right? Is because we need to score well with our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are three KPIs, and many of you are in business school, right? I was in SP Business School previously, many years ago. All right. So they give you KPIs and the 4 P's of marketing. Is it still the 4 P's of marketing? Price, product, place, and pricing. A price, product, place, and promotion. Is it still a 4 piece? Or 6 already? Yeah. My time 4 only. Likewise, we're going to give you 4 foundations today. And if you're to hit that 4 foundations of this purifying the heart, and if you keep it to the rest of your life, it will suffice. And you build on it. All right. So alhamdulillah, there are 3 KPIs which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set for us. And this is a question that we all have to answer. You like it or you dislike it, we all have to answer. And make sure that we score well, because there's only one life at it. There's only one shot at it. And if we fail, we fail. You can't come back and rewind and U-turn. Today, SMU to my house from Bedok Resort, actually, I know how to come. But I itchy skin, I open GPS. So I opened GPS. The GPS brought me to KPE. KPE, I know where I'm supposed to exit. But I took, what do you call that? I go all the way to MCE. And then the GPS signal got lost. Say, never mind, Allah, you want to show me around Marina Bay? Okay. So he showed me around Marina Bay. I took a look at, mashallah, the sea, made a visit to Habib Noor, and maybe his barakah, and then he brought me back here. So likewise, sometimes your GPS will get lost in life. You will feel like you lost your direction. Where do you go? Go with the flow. What do you do at that moment when there is no signal between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When you are not Quran memorizers and active students, what do you hold on to at that moment? Right? How many of you are Hafiz Quran? Not many, right? So many of us are not Quran memorizers, but there are simpler things that we can hold on to, despite not memorizing the Quran to a great extent or the full extent. There are simpler things that there are foundations which we can hold on to, irregardless whether we got cut off from social media, we don't have access to the phones anymore. And these are foundations that a Muslim striving to become a better person should hold on to, which is the act of purifying the heart through the act of knowledge and the act of zikr, which inshallah. So this session is, I'm not sure if it's going to be the same style as the previous one, but this is going to be a bit of theory and a bit of practical. So there will be exercises that we're going to do together, right? Inshallah. So there's 3 KPIs that we need to hit. Number 1, you need to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The question will be asked when we are lowered 6 feet under the grave. Man Rabbuka? Who is your Lord? Who is your Lord that you submitted to? Who did you give your heart to? Who was your heart focused at every single moment? That's the meaning of Lordship, that you're always infatuated, obsessed, turning to in attention to that particular person. If you're infatuated with sexual fantasies and to substance abuse, that is your Lord. And we need to come out of it. And it's part of the process. We all each have our inclination to something called the nafs. The nafs, there are 4 levels also, right? So we need to get rid of whatever is disrupting us and blocking our clear view between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Man Rabbuka? Who is your Lord? Number 1, you need to answer very well. Who was the one who you were always attentive to? Who was the one you proclaimed love hymns that I can't live without you? Who? Allah. But now someone comes into your life, we are all infatuated about this person and that person. That one, there's a chamber in the heart that you shouldn't allow anyone to enter. There's a chamber in the heart. If you allow anyone else to enter, they will break your heart. And you have experienced it. Why go through it again? Take the easy way. That chamber must be at lock and key. Only authorized personnel can enter. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. If you let anyone else enter that chamber in the heart, the deepest part of your chamber of your heart, you will suffer heartbreaks. You'll be painful. You won't get what you want anyway. Right? So you need to put it in right order. Number 2, you need to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also question us. What is that way of life that you followed? Mandinuka. What was that lifestyle that you embraced? Was it Islam? Was it Netflix? Was it social media? What was the way of life that you embraced? Was it the style of the Prophet ﷺ, or was it the style of Ronaldo and Messi? Or whoever is it? All right. What was the lifestyle that we follow? Which paradigm that we embrace wholeheartedly? That question will be asked. Number 3. And the Prophet ﷺ, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ will be shown to us, and the question will be asked, Man Nabiyuka, and who is this person? At that moment, inshallah, if you're given the opportunity to see Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the hearts which followed Prophet ﷺ and loved Prophet ﷺ will be able to recognize, Subhanallah, this is my Prophet, this is my Nabi. But at that moment, if you say, who are you? Oh, what a failure. 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, not worthy. Ala kulli hal. So 3 KPIs. You need to score well. A, inshallah. Make the intention. The importance of purifying the heart cannot be less emphasized. Take a look at this particular hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. When you say hadith, you need to understand this is a memo from the commissioned messenger of the Lord of the universe. Imagine many of you in SMU, right? Your lecturer sends you an assignment email. Submit this by 15 October, 27 October, 11:59. All of you will be rushing to do it, right? Because this is very important email. You need to score well in your assignments and in your lectures and your projects. So you take that email, very importantly. Or some of you are working adults. If your manager or your CEO were to send down important, memo from for your company, you will take it very seriously, especially if it's your supervisor or someone higher than you. Now, the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, you need to understand who is Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad is not just something that we read and then, oh, okay, if I can do it, I do it, and if I can't do it. No, it's not like that. He is the commissioned prophet. He is the commander. He is the leader of all of us. Who appointed him into office? The Lord of the universe. So when we read a hadith, we need to read it with reverence. We need to read it with importance. Much more important than the email that you receive from your bosses or for your lecturer. So the Prophet is mentioning over here, recorded in Bukhari, verily in the body is a piece of flesh. If it was healthy and sound, if it was functional, then the whole body will be sound and functional and healthy. Right? And if it became corrupt or malfunction or sick or clogged up, then the whole body will become malfunction, will become unhealthy, will become sick, will become chronically ill. Right? So likewise, how if you follow a sedentary lifestyle, if you're going to eat late at night and then immediately sleep, and you don't have exercise regime or a fitness regime, or at least an active 10,000 click, 10,000 steps per day, SG lifestyle, those kind of things, what's going to happen to us eventually? We're going to get some high cholesterol or whatever heart disease. May Allah protect us. And the body will show you signs and signals that the way that we are leading our bodily lifestyle is not good. We need to change. We need to make changes. We need to reduce the sugar. The Indian Muslim, there is a nice pattern. Indian is diabetes. Malay is, what is that? Cholesterol? No. Allahu Alam. Maybe you can do a survey. But Indian and Malay is diabetes is a big problem. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, because we like sweet things. Right? So likewise, if you have to continue in that manner, and if the doctor were to diagnose you, look, you need to reduce your sugar intake. You can't be going at it. Teh gajah, extra sugar, extra. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What's going to happen? You're going to harm yourself. And the body is amana. And the Prophet did mention that the strong believer or the able believer is better than the weak believer who depends on other than himself to get his needs met. If someone were to be pushing you or helping you because you are disabled or, not able body, does it feel good to even the person who is ill? No. You don't want to depend on anyone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So bodily amana is one thing. Right? Bodily wellness, the body must be well, and we need to take care of it. And so we need to also look at that bodily aspect. If we are eating and sleeping at supper and immediately, sleeping at that, we need to change all of this lifestyle in accordance to the Prophet ﷺ. There are 4 aspects of wellness that we need to be considering: Jisim, Qalbu, Ruh, and your Sir in other sense. So in simple psychology, they break it down: body, heart, mind, and soul. The 4 must be able. The 4 must be functioning. Right? And there are 4 aspects of methodologies to get wellness in this in this aspect. But now in this particular session, because time runs very fast, we only focus on what we call the qalb, or the heart, the wellness of the heart. All right. So if the heart is not well, the spiritual heart, if it's not well, then your mental wellness, your bodily wellness, or even your physical wellness will be jeopardized. If the heart is well, then the rest can function very, very easily. And in another particular hadith, it's mentioned over here that everything has a polish. The heart, like anything else, like metal and steel, it gets rusty if you do not polish it. If you just leave it to external elements, you will get rusty. Maybe you have a sword at home. If you don't oil it and you leave it to external elements, you become rusty. If you use the rusty knife to cut things, it's not going to be functionable, right? It's not going to help you, right? So you need to polish, like how you polish the knife or you oil the knife to make it meet your needs. There is something in your heart that you need to keep on polishing. If left unpolished, it malfunctions. It let itself go. It doesn't have a moral compass anymore. It doesn't know what's the real purpose. All right, following. Question so far? So one of the ways that we need to, the Prophet has bequest, has given us a wazifa, a homework, a duty to be doing, is the act of istighfar. The act of istighfar is very, very, very important. The act of istighfar is basically translated to the action of saying sorry to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why do we need to say sorry to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Take a good look at how much of salary that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bestowing us on a daily basis. How many times does your eyes blink per day? How many times does your eyes blink per day? 20,000 on average. Maybe more. Some of you, maybe you like to blink more. So 20,000. Any company offers you $20,000 per day on a daily basis? No. How many times do you take in the breath in and out per day? 20 to 30,000. Another 20,000 on average. 20,000 per day. Which company offers you $20,000 a day? Now 40,000 already. How many times does your heart beat a day? Is anybody's heart not beating? How many times does your heart beat a day? 100,000. Which company will pay you 100,000 per day? And let's put it in value of what we all understand, dollars and cents. Is one heartbeat at least 10 cents? Can we put at least 10 cents to one heartbeat? SMU students, especially, you're always calculating, and 10 cents? But is the heartbeat really worth 10 cents? Or is it a lot more? One heartbeat. Is it worth 10 cents or a lot more? A lot more. Well, let's put 10 cents. So 100,000 times 10 cents, how much? $10,000. In what we understand, we can only calculate everything in dollars and cents. That is what has been reduced to us. All right. But we know $10,000 on a daily basis. Is it good money? Hey, good money. Good money, boy. If someone is offering you 10,000, why don't I want to take it? Now, it is one source. There's one being who's offering you much more than $10,000. So if you even put $1 per heartbeat, it's $100,000. Why are you keep on saying money not enough, money not enough, money not enough? Jack Neo movie. When are we going to say, Alhamdulillah, you've given me much more than I'm deserving of? You've given me much more. And I'm unable to repay you in that same manner at the same rate that you're giving me. I can't do the work at the rate that you're paying me my salary. I'm always short. I'm always deficient. And if there's someone who's so nice to you, his name is Allah. And the Prophet says, someone who's so sayang you, who never wants to see your heart break, his name is Allah. And the Prophet says, and your teachers who care for your well-being, your eternal well-being especially. Of course, not forgetting the temporal world that we all came here to. Right? Why are you so serious? Relax a bit. So tense. Right? So the act of istighfar is very important, dear brothers and sisters. So one of the practical wazifa, homework that I want you, if you can, inshallah, take in and do it for the rest of your life. As we have received from our teachers and our teachers and our teachers and our teachers, leading back to the Prophet ﷺ, we give you this ijazah to practice 100 times istighfar per day. Simply calling out Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. And then see the changes that happens in your life. And the Prophet mentioned in another hadith, there are 3 things that Allah promises for the person who is consistently doing istighfar. Right? Relief from every grief, stress from every distress, and when you're short of means, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open up means for you from where you never imagined. Is it money, or is it marriage you're looking for? Is it a house that you need? Is it some illness that you are dealing with? Do istighfar. You are married but you got no children, do istighfar. You are single and available, do istighfar. Whatever is your situation, do istighfar. So inshallah, we have brought for you some presents also. Hassan can help me pass. This is very important. What we like to call the fidget spinner. Everybody take one, inshallah. Pass. Grab half, then pass that. Spread the work. Take one, inshallah. Fidget spinner, tasbih. Fidget with this, inshallah, every day. Inshallah, take one and pass. Even though you might have received one in our classes, just take it and pass it forward. Take and pass. Let them pass. Come, sisters. Come closer. Don't sit near the door. Come in front a bit. Hey, for them, you forgot your project directors. The slides, the Arabic is running. It's okay. It's broken. The font is broken. If you use the PDF, then will be intact. It's okay. So everybody's gotten your fidget spinner or your tasbih. Everybody take one, inshallah. Take the barakah. And you already have gotten one before, then pass it forward to the next person that you meet, inshallah. Anyone hasn't gotten a tasbih for yourself? The back, the sisters? Behind there, sister haven't get. That sister haven't get. There, the sister behind you. The back still going around. Yes, pass it forward. Let everybody get your tasbih. So inshallah, we have, mashallah, a lot of brothers and sisters gathered here today together with the angels and the malaika. Let us, inshallah, use this collective energy from each one of us to, first and foremost, while we are doing this, try to close your eyes and then feel the effects that it has on your hearts. For the Prophet mentioned over here, sometimes he also, his heart feels constricted sometimes. Sometimes there are good days and sometimes there are bad days. Sometimes you want to get up and go to school or go for classes. And sometimes you just don't feel like it. Why? Because of the clock that we have inherited through our sometimes shortcoming sins. And we might have hurt someone's heart. We might have scolded your colleagues or your classmates. And the thing affects you. How do you clear up this heaviness in your heart? You try to do istighfar. Right? And istighfar is the start for a seeker of God. Istighfar, to say sorry to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the foundational tool that one needs to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alright? Inshallah. So try to close your eyes, look into your heart, sit up straight if you can. And if you can cry, feel free to cry, including brothers also. Don't feel shy to cry. Don't feel shy. If you can cry, just cry. Stand by your tissue if you need. But just cry if you can, because the eyes that shed tear when it meets for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will never see the hell fire. Subhanallah. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alayhi. So let us do a sincere turning back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Astaghfirullah Rabbal baraya. Astaghfirullah minal khataya. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Together. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Louder. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Go deep down. Say sorry to Allah for all the sins we may have committed. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Say sorry to him. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah al-azim alladhi la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum wa atubu ilayh. Slowly open your eyes. Like that, keep to doing istighfar. If you can't do 100, try to do 70. If you can't do 70, try to do 50. If you can't do 50, try to do 30. If you can't do 30, try to do 10. If you can't do 10, can do one before you sleep. Can promise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, I promise to return my heart and say sorry to you before I sleep. At least once. If not 10, if not 30, if not 50, if not 70, if not 100, if not more. Inshallah. For a start, let us make a promise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to return our hearts back to Him by saying sorry, Ya Allah, I've used your amanah in the wrong of manners. What you asked me not to do, I do. What you asked me to do, I left. Yet you continue to take care of me, Ya Rabb. Who else cares for us like Allah does? No one. No one. Right? Try to do istighfar. Inshallah, make a promise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we give you the ijazah, as we receive from our teachers, to do 100 istighfar per day. All right? And how the Prophet has given us a bequest, we have inherited the same tradition. That's why when you say tradition and ijazah, this is the same trust that we carry on our shoulders from the time of the Prophet until now. And we carry it on and pass it on to you. It is now your duty to carry it on and pass it on to your family and your children and so on and so forth. And when there are people who continue to do istighfar to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not count us among the worst of the people where the day of judgment will then be bestowed upon, not bestowed, descended upon us. This is a call of duty to do istighfar because we do sins. Every one of us. And the Bani Adam, all of us, we can't escape from sins, at least for the start, for the novice. We have to make mistake. And it is part of piety, it is part of loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we run back to Him even after doing the same sin. Which door do you want to come back to other than Allah? Who can forgive you and who can return you back to wellness other than Allah? So it is part of being a pious person. Yes, a pious person may sin, but it's part of piety that you run back to Him even after committing the same sin 70 times in the same day. To leave returning back to Him, it is against piety. It is against taqwa, it's against iman. Right? So do not give up hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and never say that I'm never good to come back to classes or to be connected to scholars and teachers and I should be shying away from the masajid, the mosque and circles of knowledge and circles of zikr. Do not say that in your heart because Allah hates that you put a decree upon what He said He will do. He will forgive means He will forgive. Following. Who else can forgive? Allah. So say sorry to Him. Return back to Him every night and say sorry to Him before you sleep. Inshallah, promise? Inshallah. Khair, inshallah. We move on to the next segment. So this is one practical homework that you bring back every day and keep to it, inshallah. Keep to it, inshallah. Especially when your GPS signals got disconnected from everybody. You feel like you're all alone. Do istighfar, speak to Him. You don't even need a tasbih in your hand. It's just your faculties within you. So easy to talk to Him. You don't need WhatsApp. Sometimes my WhatsApp get messed up. Right? And then connection goes haywire. But Allah's connection never gets disconnected. Subhanallah. Who else do you want to hold on to? And take a look at this particular ayat in the Holy Quran. Many of you may be aware, but it's a good reminder. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Wa ma khalaqtul jinna wal insa illa liya'budun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a very clear job scope. A very clear job scope. And there's only one job scope that He gave us. If we can't do it well, if there's only one task to be done, and we can't do that one task well, what's to be of us? If many tasks, and we can't do many tasks properly, that's fine. But if there's only one task, and we can't do it well, what is to be of us? So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us with this purpose. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not create us to become a billionaire or a millionaire or be a homeless. None of it are scales of success. A homeless person, have you seen a homeless person in Singapore? They are sleeping rough. Do you know they are homeless person in Singapore? They are sleeping rough. But didn't he get by 60 years of his life? He still exists. He still gets life. He still gets movements and actions to go around. He still gets food to eat. Subhanallah, who took care of him? Despite him not having a roof over his head or sleeping rough. Who is that? La ilaha illallah. Did he not exist? Did he not survive? Take a good look at the billionaire. Whatever billions and millions in his bank account, doesn't he also have heartbreaks and stress and illnesses? And can his billions and millions then help him to restore it back into physical health? So who facilitates things? Who manifests things? Who achieves things? Through whose help? La ilaha illallah. No one. Not money, or not the lack of money. Neither equation works. Following. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us here, what is the purpose? And our heart needs to be ingrained in it today. By the time you go back home, you need to know why you are here. You can't be confused anymore. You can't have a dual personality or a dual identity. You need to tell yourself what you are right now. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala call us? He called us abid. We are abdun. Our job title, you're a SMU student, you're an NTU student, you're a CEO, you're a manager, you're a this and that teacher and what have not. These are temporal titles given to you to serve the community, which is part of ibadah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But your what do you call that? Your permanent job title is we are abdun. We are a refugee of Allah. Who given us a home to stay? Who given us a place, a refugee camp to reside in, called the kingdom of the earth, called earth? Allah, the master, the government, the authority. Despite us not having a name to be addressed, 30 years ago, there was no name for you to be called. You were nothing to be called. There was no Hassan, there was no Azhar, there was no Wasim. No one called you. Who decided to call us by our names? Who decided that a form comes out and then there is a name to that form? Is it your father and mother? They were the secondary means. The primary means was no one other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He desired that you exist. Subhanallah. And why do we exist? We need to know. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is telling us, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ لِيَعْبُدُونَ. This is our job scope. This is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to give us life and everything else. The air that you breathe and the heart that you beat with and the ears that you see with, the ears that you hear with and the eyes that you see with, everything for one purpose alone. Acknowledge me. Acknowledge Allah. So ibadah is not restricted to prayers alone. If our understanding of ibadah is holding a tasbih and doing istighfar alone, or to take the Quran and read, or to remit it to the 5-time prayers, and we think that this is ibadah, ibadah is done 5 times a day, we've got a deficient understanding. We need to expand this understanding. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us only to worship Him. So if we were to understand it in the manner that we are understanding, worship equals to salat. Is it mean I must pray 24 hours? Is it I must do zikr 24 hours with a tasbih? Then I can achieve the meaning of this particular ayat? No. We need to go toilet. We need to go and work. We need to play with our children. We need to get married. We need to eat. We need to sleep. Meaning, all of these life activities, there must be some form of ibadah. We need to transform all of it into ibadah. How to do that? Only through knowledge. There must be some form of ubudiyah. So ibadah is not only in the external sense that we have understood. Our heart needs to understand that anything that we do, we are in need of Allah. For you to transverse distance from your house to come all the way to SMU, do you know how many needs there are? How many steps that you took? How many times that your heart beat and your breath that you took? A lot. It's not in the tens, it's in the thousands. A lot of needs in it. A lot. So our duty is just to acknowledge who's helping you. That's ibadah. To know. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it very simple. If someone is giving you a hadiyah, you say what? Thank you. Shukriya. Terima kasih. Nandri. Jazakallah khair. Whichever language, the meaning is the same. You appreciate it. You acknowledge it. That's ibadah. To acknowledge every single help is ibadah. And to leave it, if you receive some help and you don't want to acknowledge it, the opposite is also true. It is not shukr, it is kufur. But kufur in a sense is kufur ni'mah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so kind. He could have scaled his justice to a very strict, oppressive level, yet he did not. He did not, because he sayang us. He introduced himself, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I sayang you. I am the person who sayang you the most. Why don't you understand it yet? When do you want to understand it? Why are you pinning your hopes on everyone else other than me? How long more you want to feel defeated until you want to come back to me? You want to pin your hopes on money? How many scams have you gone through and you realize that, people are out there just for the sake of money and schemes, and people are merciless for money, right? Subhanallah. Is money the end, right? So you now expand your understanding and the purpose in your heart of this worship. Worship is not limited to the 5-time prayers or the Quran that I read or the zikr that I did. No, it's every single moment I need to be in a state of acknowledgement of his help. That's worship. To know that I am in need. If I were to give you an experiment, I say, hold your breath for a minute. All of you will be like, right? 1 minute. We can't go 1 minute without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can't go 1 second without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every breath is a critical, desperate need. Aren't we? We are desperate before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But why are we not behaving desperately before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? To have this desperateness before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is therefore worship. Why then do we bow down and submit to someone higher than ourselves? Why do we kowtow to someone? Because we are desperate before him. But the problem is when we do our prayers also, our mind goes to everywhere else. There is not worship. There's bodily movement. There's yoga. Allah doesn't want yoga. Allah wants worship. He wants attention. He wants acknowledgement. He wants you to be a present abdi. He doesn't want you to be at the dinner table with your parents. All of you are eating, yet you're using your phone. That happens, right? Nowadays. Even 5-year-olds are holding the tablets. No one is having a family time. The bodies are there. The heart and the soul is elsewhere. We pray by body. The heart and the soul is everywhere else. Is that worship? Is that thankfulness? Must change. Because Ramadan after Ramadan, Tarawih after Tarawih, we get exhaustion. We don't get closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When are we going to able to do that? At this age, you need to do that. Start now. Walk the path of God. This is why you are given provisions. You earn money, like we tell our friends. You earn after graduate, inshallah, all of you get a good job. And you find a job and people pay you. What's the starting salary nowadays? For SMU grade? 4.5. MashaAllah. High? Alhamdulillah. 4.5 they give you. They squeeze you 44 hours of your life per week. 9 to 6, not including travel time. They pay you 4,500. When time to do OT, some of you bringing back home your work. You don't sleep. You sometimes sacrifice your Saturdays and Sundays. Sometimes some of you sacrifice your family time and even your own recreation time for $4,500. Ajib. Strange. Yet someone is giving you in the hundreds of thousands per day. Yet we are not devoted to him 44 hours per week. And does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ask 44 hours per week? Isn't he deserving of 44 hours per week? He is. He's not asking for 44 hours per week. He's asking 24 hours attention to him. That's all. In your heart. Because your mouth gets tired. Your body gets tired. Just think of me every moment in the manner that is befitting his majesty. Enough. Very easy. Very easy. And this company actually has the best benefits. Islam has the best benefits. It even has menses leave, by the way. Which company, we like to always give this example to the sisters especially, which company gives you menses leave? And maximum is 15 days. That means half of the month you shouldn't be working. But Islam gives you your work, even if your prayers, you don't need to pray. You don't need to pray. And you don't even need to make it up. See how Allah sayang you all? Allah never sayang you all. Subhanallah. No need to pray. And prayer is one of the foundational pillars of the 5 pillars of Islam. Yet you don't need to make it up. Thank God your sisters, mashallah. You need to give shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before women's charter came in, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already charter you all everything. Following. All right, which company gives you, we have seen sometime, mashallah, some of them are struggling with this and that, yet they need to go to work. And so discomfort, right? Isn't it uncomfortable to travel and to do this and to, isn't it uncomfortable? It is. Which company gives you leaves? No. You have to take your own leave if you need be. Right? So they're oppressing us, yet we don't see. We don't see the real well-wishers and we don't see the real oppressors. Yet we subject ourselves to think, and oh, mashallah, company pay me $10,000. I shall work my everything off for them. And I need to be dedicated to them and to climb the ranks of this red ladder, that what I understand to be. At the end of the day, $4,500 or $5,000 is for you to buy grocery at Mustafa Center. Or NTUC. Maybe Sheng Siong. Or nowadays Shopee. Yeah. Who competes in buying groceries? Maybe your family has 10 people. Maybe you need to buy more. You need a bit more groceries. Fine, you earn more. Alhamdulillah, don't cheat people and earn more. That's fine, as long as halal. But the end of the day is to buy groceries. That's it. You come to a function, mashallah, you come to a SMU lifestyle event. They give you biryani, is it just now? I also haven't get a. Anyway, just joking. But there was brownies and everything, mashallah. Do you come to the SMU lifestyle event for the sake of the biryanis and the brownies and the doggies that they give you, or for the real intangible biryani that we have prepared for you here? Which one is the highest scale of priorities? This one, isn't it? So if you're going to be focused on the provisions and how much I'm going to be earning provisions, our life will go by, 60 years will go by, 50 years will go by. Some of you already 20, 30 already. Half old man, half old woman, by the way. If you think you're 20 and you're still young, actually 1/3 of your life gone. You got 2/3 to make it work. If you're 30, halfway gone. But that doesn't mean you confirm have another 30. If you're 40, you better be on gear 5, because 40 marks maturity. You need to be steady, bom pipi. You cannot be anything less than that. Okay, so that is worship. You need to expand, number 1. And how do you expand that? The formula that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives is a very straightforward formula. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions Surah Muhammad, فَعَلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. And this is the first pillar of Islam. In the first pillar of Islam, your creed, your pledge has been already given to us. Just that we haven't took time to decipher it and put it and ingrain it into us. Islam is very simple. There's 5, right? 5 pillars of Islam. And if you can get the first one right, the rest of the 4 will be right. If you can't get the first one right, the rest of the 4 will just falter, because it's a foundation that builds building. If your foundation is not set and ingrained, your tree won't grow. My wife bought that small little plant. It doesn't grow. It's just, but it's a real plant. But okay lah, they shock. I have a plant in the house. But generally, those of you into gardening, you plant a seed, and isn't it joyful that you see that seed become a plant and then it sprouts out? Sometimes got chili plant, got some other flowers and this and that, and then you take it and then it becomes beneficial for your whichever necessity, isn't it? Correct or not? That's joy of gardening. Now, if your La ilaha illallah doesn't take root, you don't see it sprouting out beautiful, beneficial things for yourself. Where's the joy at it? It becomes mundane. That's why many of us, even me growing up, I'm not from the madrasa stream. I was a rugged Singapore Poly boy. You know, I was in business school also. But when I found Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I don't want to go back again to the mud. I already know the clean waters. Why do I want to shower in the muddy waters again? I don't want to go back there. We used to come to this area and there was, I'm not sure if there was still a live band above the hill over there. Is it still around? Fort Canning just below. There's one live pub down there. Yeah. Never been, alhamdulillah. See, people like me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us chance, second opportunity. Don't let it grabs away from you. Because the reality is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning Surah Muhammad, فَعَلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Know very well Ingrained in your hearts. La ilaha illallah. There is no one who is truly worthy of your attention other than Allah. No one. Absolutely no one. No one can give you anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where is the dalil? Where is the evidence in the Quran? Surah Fatiha. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You alone we worship. You alone we seek help from. You alone we seek help from. Therefore, you alone we worship. So first, you need to understand and expand your understanding of worship. Worship is not limited to those, ritualistic things that we have taken on and inherited from our parents. Some of you are converts, mashallah. All right. So it is not that bodily exercise without the soul and the heart at it. That's not worship. We need to be worshipping. We cannot be ritualistically, blindly doing certain things. Otherwise, we can't taste worship. And many of us are suffering from that, right? So we need to put our hearts into it. We need to first expand the knowledge, and then there's exercises that needs to be in accordance to that understanding, that purpose. Right? So now expand your understanding of this particular first pillar of Islam, your shahada kalima, la ilaha illallah. When you say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is worthy of worship, why do we need to worship him? Worship means giving attention. The one that we need to be always be reminded of, to the extent that we should not be forgetting him. Why? Because he's constantly helping you. Because he's constantly helping you, you shouldn't forget him. Fair? Is it fair? If someone is helping you, don't forget that person. Thank that person. Very simple theory. All right? Now, the person who will score very well in the hereafter is the one who is able to score deeply in this aspect. The person who acknowledges every single need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he expands his consciousness of how much help he's getting from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we abase ourselves that, hey, Allah help me so much. I'm so worthless. I'm so helpless. I'm so, powerless. I'm so disabled before Allah and Allah alone. Will then reach closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The one who is heedless, the opposite is not conscious, being heedless. You just, usurp, take from the company, but don't want to work. What do you call such a person? Thief. You take, usurp all the company resources, but never acknowledge the company's, welfare. You're a thief. Yet you never, and so many a times we take the resources and use it against the company. Conflict of interest. All these terms ring a bell, SMU? Right? Very simple terms. Whatever we are doing in real life is what's going to happen in the hereafter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us reenactment. Every single thing in our lives. Following. Understand this part? Question so far? When you say La ilaha illallah, two simple understanding bring it home today. When you say La ilaha, nothing is fulfilling my needs other than Allah. When I drink a cup of water, do you think that a cup of water could have existed by itself? Who brought it into existence? So this becomes worship when I drink it with this pledge, with this creed, with this orientation in my mind and in my heart. This becomes an act of worship. You going to drink a cup of tea with this consciousness, not only the Bismillah and the Alhamdulillah which your parents taught you, but in between, see the process. It's a conscious heart. It's a healthy heart. Then we can reach Qalbun Salim, a heart which is alive. Now our Muslim Ummah is dead. Because in the heart, they have replaced other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The thing, and every ummah is mentioned by the scholars, every ummah will have one big idol, which will then, they will bow down and they will ask for their needs and seek protection. Our ummah, irregardless whether you're Muslims or not, there's one big idol sitting in our hearts. You know what is that? Money, dinar and dirham. With money, I can do everything. Without money, how to survive in Singapore? Homeless also surviving without money? Who helps him to survive? La ilaha illallah. Without which one first? Yes, money is important. But who gives you money? It's still Allah. Who restrains you from giving money? Allah. So who should we depend on and fall on, which never fluctuates? La ilaha illallah. So when you say la ilaha, in a short while we will do the practical aspect. Take out every single thing that is affecting your heart. La ilaha. This person who supposed to be my husband or wife, oh, they rejected me, and still very painful. La ilaha. Where was this guy before? Before he came into my life, who was taking care of me? Allah. This guy came 1-2 years ago, and then he rejects you, and your heart is full painful. Take him out and throw. La ilaha illallah. Really? Don't cling on to things. Don't cling on to things which they themselves need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Same for the brothers also. Right? Maybe a girl came into your life 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I will do everything for you. And this and that. And be moderate in your marriage vows, by the way. Because we have seen people give marriage vows, the marriage lasts 1 year. So be careful in what you promise and profess also. Are you able to hold it? Marriage is important. It's a sunnah, but it's a divine communion also, right? And it's about responsible love, not just about emotional fluctuation. Today you like her, tomorrow you don't like her. Marriage is not like that. It's about responsible love. You like or don't like, you have agreed to be committed until you die, until Jannah, inshallah. Right? Not just because of a little small thing, we have conflict and then we separate our ways. It's not like BGR, marriage is not BGR. You know what's BGR, right? Oh, okay. Right? It's not like that. Need to be committed, inshallah. But if there is a proposal that's coming away, why you want to delay? How long you want to hold on? Engage 5 years. Oh, subhanallah, engagement very long. How long you have to be engaged? You found someone who's coming along your way. Good character, good religion, gets along with your in-laws. Bismillah. Sisters also can propose, no problem. Sayyidina Khadijah sent across a proposal to the Prophet Muhammad SAW. He accepted it. And brothers also same thing. How long you want to study and don't want to get married? Example. I want to say PhD. Then you be half old man. You're 30-something. You're already half old man. Get married. When, inshallah, when all the circumstances are right, find someone, and you find someone good, inshallah, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless your union and go forward. Because the person who gets married, inshallah, many things will be easier for us to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, there's a lot of obstacles, and then we'll be struggling. Right? And also, it's important. We are humans. So, understand La ilaha illallah? Any questions so far? So let's try out the practical aspect of what effects La ilaha illallah has in our hearts. Take your tasbih. Anyone who hasn't gotten your tasbih, just now one or two haven't received your tasbih yet. Anyone who hasn't received your tasbih? Anyone? Sisters at the back, all got ready. Stay going around, inshallah. Take one. So sometime in the path to God, to purify our hearts. So sometimes, some of you guys might be dealing with some sexual fantasies. Some of you might be dealing with substance. Some of you might be dealing with anything, We're not inferring to anybody in particular, just saying each one of us has a splinter in our heart which is keep on irritating us. The concept of nafs is he likes one particular thing and you keep on repeating it. Maybe for the sisters, you like to go to the pantry and gossip about this girl. I don't like her face. I don't like her scarf. Why she dressed like that to SMU. That is not healthy for us. For those who want to reach Qalbun Salim, all of these things must be cropped up. The splinter must be thrown out. Even though how small it is, if it's a nagging pain, you need to take it out with the pincer and throw it out. Right? So some habits that the nafs might be disturbing us, we need to use the formula of La ilaha. You can't help me, illallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who can help me. You need to take it out and throw. Whatever is disturbing your heart, between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The best formula is La ilaha. Take it out, sweep it out, chankol it out, however you want to visualize it. Take the pincer and throw it out. Following. Okay, so I would like all of you to bring this into meaning. And the topic today is healing your heart, right? So if you are dealing with anything, chronic stress, depression, and Israel, mental illness. May Allah protect all of us. Right? So the one who can heal your heart is La ilaha, the one who created your hearts. So who best to us? In NS, we were a fitness trainer. So very simple. The recruits will come and ask us, PTI, how to do more pull-up? Do more pull-up lah. How to do more push-up? Do more push-up lah. How to do more sit-ups? Do more sit-up lah. So it's like that. How I want to swim better? Swim more. How to run faster? Run more. So if there's something affecting your hearts, do more of this, inshallah, you'll get it up. And you will find strength and endurance through it. Inshallah. So close your eyes, look into your hearts, try to bring all of this information that we have shared with you into practicality. We take the knowledge, we put it into practice. That becomes knowledge. That becomes meaning. Close your eyes, look into your hearts. Especially brothers, raise your voice a bit. Maybe you'll never eat the biryani or what. Huh? Okay, the collective energy. This is not a silent zikr. This is a loud zikr. Awaken your hearts. Awaken your hearts. Awaken your senses. The vibrations of this La ilaha illallah will awaken certain meaning in our hearts. That's why you need to do it a bit loudly. Later, I will teach you the silent zikr. That one, you don't need to open your mouth. This one, open your mouth. We need some vibrations. Afdalu dhikri fa'alam annahu. Look into your hearts. Afdalu dhikri fa'alam annahu. Hasbi Rabbi Jallallah ma fi qalbi ghairullah Nur Muhammad Sallallahu Haq la ilaha illallah 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 Louder. La ilaha illallah 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 لا إله إلا الله 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 محمد رسول الله. Slowly open your eyes. How do you feel? Better than the biryani? Which one better? La ilaha, the biryani cannot fulfill my need. Illallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who gave me the biryani. And He feeds me. He takes care of me. He not only gives me biryani, He doesn't even treat me like a prisoner of war. I'm not even treated like a refugee. He gives me biryani to eat. He gives me brownie after that. After that, got some more. Bani beverages to drink. Does He treat you like a refugee at all? Has He ever treated you like a slave should be treated? When are we then going to treat Him as a Lord should be treated? Next life, cannot in this world. Score. Earn your money, but score well. Do whatever you need to do, but don't forget this. Do this with a more devotion than you seek the world. Don't depend on the world. The world will cheat us. The world will cheat you. Out there are people, vultures, waiting to make use of you, manipulate you. You are there when you are useful. You are not. You will throw you out when you're not useful. Regardless of all the professions of BFF lah, this lah, that lah, people fall out. Partners fall out. Don't they? Examples you all know. MashaAllah. So no one can help me other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one is helping me other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one will help me for my future, for my tomorrow other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So who do you return to when you are it feels all cloudy and all dark? La ilaha. Sit down. Do this. Heal your hearts. Patch up all those bullet holes that your ex caused you. I don't know. I'm just saying. Right? So khair, inshallah. Whatever is bygone is bygone. There's a lesson to be learned. Don't fall into the same mistake twice. Following. Questions? Two types of people got no question. They understood everything or they understood nothing. I hope you are the first. Khair, inshallah. And one of the most important way, one of the most fertile way to connect and purify our hearts is to connect our hearts to the one who is the best of purifier. The one whose heart was the most luminous. The heart which was most beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My Muhammad, the most beautiful of names. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions here. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Qul in kuntum tuhibbunallah fattabi'uni yuhibbukumullah yaghfir lakum dhunubakum wallahu ghafurur rahim. Say, O Prophet Muhammad, if this was in the nuzul Quran or the asbabun nuzul, the reason why this particular ayat came down in the Holy Quran was the Jews, they came and they said to the Prophet ﷺ, Ya Rasulullah, no, they didn't say Ya Rasulullah, they don't want to accept him. They say, oh, the person who proclaims so and so, we love Allah and we are the children of Allah, right? Allah loves us. They proclaim such a proclamation which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala disliked. They said they were the closest of God and they were from a blessed lineage of prophets, and they refuted the Prophet Muhammad, right? Though we are very close in lineage between the Abrahamic faith. So they say that, no, we don't need to follow you. We will love Allah. We are already blessed. We come from a noble lineage of prophets. We are the chosen people of God. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down, tell them, Kul in kuntum tuhibbunallah. If you truly love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you have to follow Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then Allah will love you. Your love is not a true love until you believe in La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Your love is not a true professional love until you accept oneness of God and the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These two combines will be then the wings to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For the Quran was sent down to no one other than Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And mashallah, we were in the blessed month of Rabiul Awal, right? The blessed birth of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We need to return back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not limited to 12 days of celebration Rabiul Awal, by the way. It should be done daily. And it's not limited to qasida and the salawat and the melodious poems that we try to recite in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's commemoration. And it's not like how some people they say that, oh, you guys are venerating the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's not like getting a birthday cake and cutting the birthday cake. That's not what we mean by celebrating the birthday. Meaning returning back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's heritage and bequest. If the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's birth was not revisited, but for you all on your birthday, you order what? Ice cream cheesecake, is it? Then got onde-onde lah. After that got all kind of design. Subhanallah. Oh, your birthday can celebrate. The Prophet's birthday cannot be revisited. How come one rule for you and one rule for the other people? MashaAllah. Right? And the Prophet life need to be revisited. That is what we mean by Maulid, to revisit the life of the Prophet. And many of you, mashallah, even here, I understand you're organized, right? Yeah. So what happens there? You recollect the history, the seerah of the Prophet. You invite people to goodness, you pray together, you feed people. All of these are in prophetic inheritance. How then can this be a misguidance? Those who proclaim misguidance, go and look at their chain of teachers. They do not have a prophetic lineage. They are not linked back to the Prophet ﷺ. And that's why all the chaos and the confusion that are happening in our ummah. But sometimes they have their weightage in their words, because we proclaim to follow the Quran and the Sunnah, but the call of duty when it comes, we leave. We are not attending circles of knowledge. We are not rectifying our hearts. We are not linked to teachers and the practicing ones. We're not trying to change ourselves. We are, in our heart, we say La ilaha illallah, but the truthfulness is La ilaha illa money. We have left the prophetic heritage and we've taken what the system offers you as lies. We have taken the lies as truth and the truth as lies. When are we going to return back to the Prophet ﷺ? Now. Now is the opportunity that we are in the qadar of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we are here to listen to all these things, and we're exchanging a big reminder first and foremost for ourselves is, especially the youth at this age, we need to take on the call of duty seriously. Hey, but my father, mother never practiced like that. Forget your father, mother. You answer your own grave. They answer their own grave. You need to answer to your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They need to answer to their Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your path is your path. Their path is their path. But of course, respect and everything is very important and etc. But no one should stop you on the path that is open to everybody to reach sainthood, to carry the flag of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Come back and carry the flag of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You carry Manchester lah. Messi now, he already moved on to US. MashaAllah. Right? So come back and carry the flag of the Prophet ﷺ. Come back to circles of learning. Go and find teachers who are linked back with a sanad to the Prophet ﷺ. Hold on to them. Don't calculate your time with them. In fact, calculate the time that you spend in your office hours. Go and exhaust yourself for the akhirah. There's only one life at it. Yes, seek what you need to seek for the dunya. But your excessive effort should be for something which is eternal. If we already exhausted half our lives here, how long you want to live on here? Cannot. You cannot build a house over the bridge. You cannot put a roof over the bridge. Following. Right? So Alhamdulillah. So connect your hearts to our beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. My Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You must tell yourself, this is my Muhammad. Right? And we, mashallah, our heart aches when we see the people in Palestine and everything. But there are also people within our own community. You also must treat them as your ummah. They are our children. They are eating from the trash. No need to go so far. Just in Singapore, maybe also have. In Rohingya also have. In Southeast Asia already, these are our children. These are the children of the Prophet ﷺ. These are my children. You need to tell yourself. If we are only concerned about me, myself, that is against the prophetic call of ummati, ummati, ummati. The Prophet said, my ummah, my ummah, my ummah. But we said, me, my family, okay, ready. We must go and look out. Come back to knowledge. Come back to amal. Practice. Exhaust yourself. 9 to 6 enough. Office hour, enough. It's already oppressive hours. 9 to 6 is how many hours of your life you're giving them? 9 to 6 enough. Don't do OT. Don't do OT. 44 hours enough. Not enough. Hey, tell me, work-life balance and all those campaigns that's coming out. Subhanallah. Last time 6 days work week, they reduced it to 5. But it's possible to do it in 4. All right. So come back to the Prophet. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet given us a perfect work-life balance. Do what you need to do for the akhirah. Take what is necessary, but don't hoard. Because they are our children. And look up when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you access. Look up for our children. Feed them. Adopt an orphan. These are my children. You need to tell yourself, these are my children, my Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We cannot be me, myself. No. Like that, we can't attain closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no talk about flag about purifying our hearts. When our hearts doesn't ache when we see our neighbors being hungry. Go and look up for the rental blocks within Singapore. There are people who don't have anything in their fridge. Yet our fridge got no space to put things. Regardless of whether they believe in Islam or not, these are still our children, the ummah of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Keep a lookout for them. Don't everything hold. How many zero you want in your bank balance? How many zero? There are some in our community really got 0.00 within Singapore, in Singapore. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So take concern for the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we are the best ummah. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned, don't disappoint him when we say, oh, when I gave you the title of best ummah, but we behave like this. You hoarded where your neighbor was hungry. What's the point about flagging everything and flexing everything on social media when your neighbor is hungry? When you're able to do something about it, we don't do anything about it. There's a call of duty individually, we don't do anything about it. How is our ummah going to find liberation? When is the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to come? And we ourselves individually in our own household, some of us are not doing our daily prayers or fasting or zakat or hajj. We not come to circles of knowledge. We're not doing zikr. We are scared of all these things. Hey, what is this thing? Zikr, all. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. It's a prophetic inheritance. They used to do in the thousands. We're doing in the hundreds. Subhanallah. So, supplication, salawat upon the Prophet. One or another fertile way of getting back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, purifying our hearts. And one of the best balm to heal our hearts and our sorrows and any other thing that affects it is to send salawat upon the Prophet. Take a memo of this from the Prophet in record in Tirmizi. A Sahaba came to the Prophet and asked, Ya Rasulullah, how much salawat should I be sending upon you? A simple salawat is Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. The Prophet replied to him, you can do as many as you wish. After your obligation, prayers and etc., do a lot of salawat. Okay, Ya Rasulullah, I'm doing 1/4 after everything, 1/4 of my time, I'm doing a lot of salawat. The Prophet said, good, do whatever you wish, maintain it. If you can increase it, it's better for you. Then the Sahaba came back, Ya Rasulullah, half of my free time, I'm just doing salawat. Good. If you increase it, it's better for you. Ya Rasulullah, he came back the third time and said, shall I devote all my time to just send salawat upon you after my obligatory duties? And the Prophet mentioned, then you'll be freed from your worries and your sins will be forgiven. And you will see your affairs being facilitated. Whether it's school, you're studying for your exams, do salawat. Inshallah, you'll be facilitated. You are having lack of means, do salawat. You are, marriage, do salawat. House, you need a house, do salawat. Pray 2 rakat and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you will see it coming along with you. So, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Ahzab, which all the brothers, if you're not sleeping, then you have hear this from the khatib every Friday. The khatib will always go on to the mimbar and he will say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Inna Allah wa malaikatu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alayhi. The meaning goes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the malaika to send salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he's commanding us, oh, you who believe and proclaim in La ilaha illallah, you too send your salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So no one can, you take a good look at this particular ayat. Allah himself sending salawat. And how much does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send salawat? It's an endless salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You see how much he loves the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So inshallah, let us try the practical aspect of doing salawat and the effects that it has on our hearts. Take on to your tasbih again. Close your eyes, look into your hearts. Those of you who have been to Umrah, inshallah, connect your hearts to the Rawdah and the dome of the Prophet and bring the presence of yourself into Medina. For those of you who haven't been there, inshallah, tell yourself that you want to visit Umrah and Medina soon, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us opportunity. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. 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 Louder. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Allah salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina 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 Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala سيدنا محمد اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد محمد اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد محمد اللهم صل على سيدنا 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 محمد سيدنا محمد صل على سيدنا محمد اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه. Let us keep to doing salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you will see, inshallah, a lot of blessings coming into your lives, as per the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And of course, mashallah, one of the most potent ways to purify our heart is to connect our hearts back to knowledge. We need to find teachers. We need to find teachers. And we need to stick to teachers. And we need to be committed to learning. We cannot be dismissing a commitment to the flag of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mention? Seeking knowledge for every Muslim man and Muslim woman is an individual call of duty. It's an individual obligation. When the Ummah leaves it, then disgrace and humiliation is for us. When we choose other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we take other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the most important things, disgrace and humiliation is with us. We are many in numbers. What did the Prophet mentions? A time will come, which is now, we'll be many in numbers. There's billions of Muslims, but they will devour us like you put the food on the plate, just ta 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 and whack and it's finished. They will devour us like some plates and food on the plate. You'll be many in numbers, but why are we weak? Two diseases of the heart: desires of the world, love of the world, and hatred for death. We don't want to die. We think we're going to be here forever. And that's what the world sold us. That this world is all it is. Go and study hard, get a good job, get a good degree, and then that's it. Go and get married and this and that. And then there's no afterlife. No one talks to us about the afterlife. No one is telling us, look, the reality is you need to score well, study hard, get a good place in the hereafter. Yes, take what is necessary from the world. Go and buy whatever groceries that you need from Sheng Shong and Mustafa. Eat well and have a good life. But don't forget your afterlife. Score well there, dear brothers and sisters. Don't we want to be reunited with our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? We have to. Otherwise, wasted. Sayang. So we humbly invite you, for those of you who are not in a circle of knowledge, to go and find teachers. And if you do not know where to find, inshallah, we open our doors warmly to you. Every Tuesday and Friday, we gather at Masjid Abdul Ghafur, which is only across the street, a 10 minutes walk, all right, from, what is the nearest MRT? Rocho.
Oh,
Jalan Besar. All right, and come and join us every Tuesday and Friday, where we are collaborating with Convert Central, where we are covering two topics, one of it which is related to today's topic, which is purification of the heart, and it's an ongoing process. But the most important thing when you purify on the heart is to depend on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? To have dependence on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which translate to, shirk and kufur. And to be kufur, to deny the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to be free from these main two diseases first. Before jealousy and hatred and backbiting and bukhul and shuh and miserliness and all those things. Most importantly, we depend on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the biggest problem. So come and join us, inshallah. Huh? And if this is too far for you, we have Zoom options. If you think, Ustaz, sorry, I cannot travel, I got school. We got Zoom option. Or maybe you can find someone, you can find a circle which is ongoing within your locality and everything. But go and find true teachers. Don't always look for those one-off lectures and 8-week modules and then you want to be carefree after that. No, go and find teachers who nurture you, who take you as their own, who give you a roof over your head and say, look, hey, how's your development? Is your zikr running? How's your heart at? Is it going well? And you form acquaintanceship, you form friendship, you form family, so that eventually you'll be resurrected together with you in the hereafter. We want to be caring for each other. This guy came to SMU on a Monday and blah, 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 blah. Where is he, Ustaz? He organized for me all these things. He taught me how to do zikr. Intercede for me when you don't see me in heaven. But how are you going to remember me after 1 year if you only met once? I need your help. Following. Go and find teachers. Spend time. Spend money. Grow these efforts. Don't let this go. We don't want to be counted among the generation which lets the flag of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fly away to the ground. Then the day of judgment will come. As long as there's person who are doing istighfar and saying Allah, Allah, and la ilaha illallah, the day of judgment will not come. And we are contributing to that. But a time will come where people do not know anything. We cannot contribute to that. We are still surviving. We're carrying the burden of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Go and find true teachers and stay committed to them. But teachers are human beings. They will make mistakes. Forgive their shortcomings. You make mistakes too. No teacher is perfect. No human being is perfect except the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Following. Right? Just because maybe your ustaz says something that you didn't like, and you say, oh, I don't want to go for class anymore. That's your nafs. He's giving me timeline. Give me 5 minutes. So last one, inshallah. Last one. Yeah, correct. Last slide. Sorry, always. President. And these are titles that you need to serve with khidmah. Titles are given to us, and it's important. But we need to follow the paradigm of prophetic leadership. It's servant leadership. Take on to roles. All of you, inshallah, work hard. We're not, after the end of the day, we're not asking you, oh, retreat to your small little musalla at home or to the cave or to the masjid. No. Work hard. Become managers. Ahlan wa sahlan. Become presidents and CEO and directors. Ahlan wa sahlan. But be a muttaqi manager. Be someone who is fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you that title. Do not become oppressors to your subordinates. And carry the flag of Islam even in your workplaces. The title is amana. Amana for you to uphold and preserve and grow the flag of the Prophet. All right? You cannot just, oh, this is just another portfolio that I want to add on to my resume. It feels good. No, it's amana that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you. Even if you're put in charge over 2 person or 1 person, you as a husband over your wife over your children, you'll be asked, what did you do with the amana? Following. Right? And treat it with heart. Have heart, dear brothers and sisters. We need heart. We cannot be always signing up for those feel-good Muslim, you know. You want to listen to all those shorts and everything. You feel good. I think I'm doing fine. I shall just go by. But for your worldly career, you are never satisfied. You want promotion, you want increment, you want to score high in those. But how come for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you just want to be a normal Muslim? What's a normal Muslim? What's a normal Muslim? A normal Muslim who has Allah and the Prophet in his heart and is devoted to it. Your loyalty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes first. And there are brothers and sisters who are converts over here. And those of you who are born Muslim, give shukur, because there are people who get chased out from their house because they say La ilaha illallah. Their parents don't acknowledge them. They don't come for their weddings. Your own father and mother don't want to come for your wedding because you married a Muslim. Here we are, given the civil platter. We say, oh, hey, don't become just like that. And they are there who have given up everything for La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Yet we don't want to find out all these things. And we are afraid of guidance when guidance comes to you. Of course, the Prophet also, he was shocked when Jibreel came. He was a bit heavy, but he embraced it and carried the flag with heart, like a man with vigor and chivalry. And we need to return back to becoming true men and true women. Because it is in the household of of women that prophets are raised. But if our household is full of entertainment only, how? So Alhamdulillah, a closing advice to everybody. Take a look at this particular memo from the Prophet ﷺ, which is a hadith Qudsi, which comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Prophet ﷺ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions over here, I am near to the thought of my servant as he thinks of me. I am as my servant thinks of me. If you think Allah will forgive you, Allah will forgive you. If Allah is good, Allah is good. If you think, why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do this to me? Or is Allah bad? And it is such. So have good thoughts about Allah, and He will open up your path. Live your life for Allah. He will open up your path. Because He's the one who gives you life. Live for Him, He will live for you. Right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues, I am with Him as He remembers me. And if He remembers me in His heart, I remember Him in my heart. If He remembers me in an assembly, I remember Him in an assembly better than this assembly, in an assembly of angels. If He draws near to me by a span of a palm, I will draw near to Him by the cubit. If He draws near to me by the cubit, I draw near to Him by the space covered by 2 hands. If He walks towards me, I run towards Him. Subhanallah. Who is this? Allah. Say Allah. Everybody together. Allah. Do you think your neighbor, everybody in your block or in your estate, you go and tell them, auntie, say Allah. Say Allah. Say La ilaha illallah. You think they will accept? Correct or not? Can anybody say La ilaha illallah? You and I have been given the opportunity despite me not being deserving of it. I'm not deserving of it. Yet Allah throw this chance. Why? Because He desired me and you to be in heaven. And the virtues of La ilaha illallah is many. Study. So there are people who, even if you give them money also, they don't want to say La ilaha illallah. But He has given us on a sliver paper, even though I'm not deserving of it. Embrace it. Grow it. Return it back with many more branches and fruits and spread it. Following, inshallah. So we have one more wazifa for you. Wow, this Ustaz come SMU. Disturb us. So pass this forward. This one to here, this one to here. I think that's sufficient for you guys to take 3 each. Each one take 3 each. Okay, this one to the center. Hasan, this one to the side. So we have given you bookmarks. Take 3 each. You are lucky if you got 3 design. Supposed to be 3 design, but it's okay, no problem. Even if it's the same design, never mind. Just take 3 each, because only 1 for you. But take 3 each. Take 3 bookmarks each. Converse Central card you can also have, but that one take 1 each lah. I forgot to bring more. 5 minutes last. 10. Alhamdulillah. Still got time for Q&A. Take 3 bookmarks each. And those who haven't gotten a Converse Central card, please pass it to them. Those who doesn't know about Converse Central yet, inshallah. So if you have to turn to the back of the bookmark. Okay, everybody gotten ready? 3 each. How about this end? Everybody got 3 each. Okay, show me. You say 3 already. Got already. Good. How about that corner? Last man, last sister over there. Have you gotten? Got. Okay, that corner got already. Okay, good. Who hasn't gotten it? Can spread it. Okay, good. 1 is for you. 1 bookmark is our hadiah for you to remember us and keep us in your prayers. The other 2 is to pass it forward to your friends or your colleagues or your family or whoever. And Tell them something that you know. And if you turn to the back of the bookmark, the 3 foundations that we've given you just now, number 1 is istighfar. Return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anytime that we fall short, we do sins, it's okay. Come back, come back. Don't go further and further and let yourself go. Don't. Whatever habits that you have, is it substance? Never mind. You fall into it once, come back. Start again. Say sorry. It's okay. Don't let yourself go. Find and replace that companions. Cut away those links which brought you back there. Zikr can heal you. Only zikr can heal you. Only Allah can heal you. You don't need those things. Those of you suffering from any form of addiction, you fall into it once in a while, it's okay. Say sorry and start again. Come back. There's only one door you need to come back. There's only one roof. Come back to Allah. Don't let yourself go and say, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. I am dirty. I am sinful. Yes, we are dirty and sinful. There was no doubt. If you got doubts about whether we are sinful, we are sinful. No doubts about that. But the purifier is Allah subhanahu. Following. All right, we are not angels. Allah subhanahu did not create us angels. But what does He want us to keep on coming back to His doorstep and saying sorry and starting again and again and again and again? And that's what He likes. You keep on backbiting at your workplace and your school. First, stop. But if it happens again, start again. Say, come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Say sorry and try to cut those means. And whatever things that we're dealing with, stop those streams that which brings us far from Allah by doing istighfar. Number 2, reaffirm your commitment to La ilaha illallah. That I depend and I pursue and I seek no one other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And no one can help me out of it other than La ilaha illallah. And keep your connection to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam by sending salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Starts with Islam, grows into Iman, and inshallah we'll be counted among those people who are ihsan. Istighfar is Islam. La ilaha illallah is Iman. Ihsan is with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These 3 combined, inshallah, we can reach our goal a bit faster. But you need teachers, you need guide, you need a GPS. Without teachers on your own, very tough. Right? Very tough. Alhamdulillah. So one final gift that we want to give to you. So one more thing is, I give you another 2 is to spread whichever knowledge you have. Is it only istighfar? If someone you see, your colleague or your friend dealing with some difficulty, tell him it's okay, istighfar and start again. Teach them that knowledge. Pass it forward. Is it La ilaha illallah you understood? Tell them about La ilaha illallah, whatever you know. Tell them to do salawat. Tell them and link them back to good people, to circles like this, and inshallah, connect them to the dots. And do that part. Don't shy away from this responsibility and the honor that the Prophet has entrusted us with. It cannot be on the shoulders of teachers only. It has to be everybody. The manager in the workplace has to spread Islam over there. Of course, in a diplomatic manner, without getting yourself, into jeopardy. All right. The student in SMU need to do your part. The nurse in that hospital need to do your part. You might come across somebody who might need that La ilaha illallah. And there are people on their deathbed, they have said La ilaha illallah. Atheists, last week only, one auntie only can speak Teochew. Right? She converted to Islam. 80 years, she doesn't know any English. She doesn't know any English. But she understood only got one God. And she wanted to be in the religion of that one God, which is Islam. She found her way. And the people who just before they die, they say La ilaha illallah. So there might be somebody, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give me the honor to be that bridge between you and that servant of yours. Follow it. And it's a great honor. If one person can be guided to you through you, it is better than the Lamborghini. The Prophet used red camel. Red camel of that time is the Lamborghini of today. Red one. Following. Or Maserati. Which car you like? Whatever lah. Khair, inshallah. All these are scrap metal at the end of the day. So one final hadiah before we jump into the Q&A. Thank you so much for giving me a bit of time. It's what we call the zikr khafi or zikr qalbi. There are many ways to achieve purification of the heart through. One is knowledge. Knowledge is priority. If you do not know how to do your job well, how are you going to purify your heart? Purification of the heart is a flaccid process. You need to be doing it. It cannot be just like that here, dancing around in your head. You need to do something about it. Ilm and zikr. And then amal. And then da'wah and khidmah. To serve your community is also one huge aspect of it. Right? And to call people to goodness is also very important. Right? That's why we always end with wal asr. So among the knowledge of dhikr, to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's zikr, what we call jali, zikr jali, apparent zikr, like just the one we did. Loudly you activate your senses. There's something called zikr qalbi or zikr khafi, which is done internally without the necessity of proclaiming it loudly. Following? We sayang you so much, that's why we want to give you all these things. And this will suffice. If you are alone also, you can actually apply it. You are in school while doing your work also, can apply it. While you are at work, you can apply it. While you're walking, you can apply it. It's that easy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not burden us. He actually wants to simplify it for you. Right? So zikr khafi is such. When you, we'll go into it straight away. Close your eyes, all of you. Sit up straight, look into your hearts. Now focus on your breath. Close your eyes as you listen to me. Just look into your heart. Turn your direction of your eyes, in a sense, to your heart. Look into your heart. And then focus on that breath that goes in and out. Breathe in, breathe out. Normally. No need to slow it down. Normal. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe. Now, who allows you to breathe? Who? Say loudly. Is there anyone who can help you to breathe? This is expensive. This is an expensive ni'mah, a blessing, a favor. Who keeps us alive? Through this breath. Now I want you to hold on to your pulse. Find your pulse in your hands. You know, in your wrists, you can feel that rhythm. Who makes your heart beat? Who makes your heart beat? Is there anyone who can make your heart beat? That's another tasbih for you. Close your eyes, close your eyes. Take a moment, enjoy the moment. No need to open your eyes. Now coming back to your breath. Now when you breathe in and breathe out, because this is an expensive commodity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, the only work they expect us to do is to acknowledge it comes from Him, to give shukur. At the end of the day, it's about shukur. It's about gratitude for the ihsan, for the amount of sayang He gives to us. He sayang us so much. Just acknowledge. So when you breathe in, without proclaiming it loudly, in your hearts, there's a voice in your heart that speaks. Activate that heart. When you breathe in, call out Allahu, with the intention of thanks. I thank you, Allah. When you breathe out again, Allah, with the intention of thank you, Allah. Breathe in together. Allahu, Allah, 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 Allahu, Allah, Allahu, Allah, 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 Allahu, Allahu, Allah, 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 Allah. Continue on you. Every breath that you take in, say thank you to Allah. Thank you, Allah. Go deep down. Give Him one heartfelt thanks. Allahu, Allah, Allahu, Allah, 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 Allah. Continue on your own. Say one thank you, one heartfelt thank you. He gives and give and give and give. He takes such good care of us. He helps us to breathe and He keeps us alive. Thank you, Allah. Say thank you to Him with your heart. Thank you, Allah. Thank you, Allah. Allah, 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 Allah. Slowly open your eyes. Allahu Allah. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for your time. And now we come into the next aspect. Forgive us our shortcomings. I hope this has benefited you and keep on to the gifts that we have given, inshallah. So Anonymous asks, I feel a little scared. I don't feel any connection when I perform zikr. I feel a little scared. Oh, it takes time. So the important part about practicing any amalan, any forms of worship is to keep on at it. And you start small. And you start small, but istiqamah, consistency is key. To keep on repeatedly doing it and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to open up the doors of connection. Who can open up the doors of connection? Allah. La ilaha illallah. So I hope that answers the question. Ustaz, what tariqah do you follow? Is that the second question? Yeah. Now, the terms and terminologies that you use sometimes puts people off. So if you're to go back to all these terminologies and to differentiate, all these groups and segments that people think that, oh, this is a different thing altogether away from Islam, and it puts away people from actually embracing the prophetic heritage. If you were to ask me which path do I follow the path of the Prophet ﷺ, who then passed down to his Sahaba, and there were different Sahaba who carried different lights. That is basically the understanding of getting an ijazah or a tariqah, to follow the path of the Prophet ﷺ. And they have codified all this in different aspects of terminology and methodology. But we should not be stuck on to the names. Important is as long as within the Quran and the Sunnah, and it is a valid chain of transmission which links back all the way to the Prophet ﷺ, and there is a valid teacher, you follow your teacher who has a sanad. All right, but of course there are different levels of knowledge that you can aspire to get. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends you your murabbi or your murshid, your guiding mentor, that is your path. Right? Forget all the terminologies. All right, but the one that if you wanna know which specifically that we have 4 chains. We have 4 chains of sanad which links back to the Prophet ﷺ. One is the Qadri chain, one is Distiya chain, we have Shazili chain, we have the Darqawi chain. Alhamdulillah. Some all don't know, huh? It's okay. These are basically the teachers who uplifted the Prophet ﷺ teaching again, and they resurrected the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ, and they codify it for their students and their followers to follow a set of litanies and what they call it, curriculum, so that they too also can walk on the path of God. Basically, that's it. How to know we are giving too much to the dunya? In fact, we don't have dunya. Change your dunya into akhirah. Change your dunya into akhirah. Remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even when you go for a basketball game or a soccer game or a swimming or a cooking class, whatever is it, Turn that into akhirah by remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we've shown you how simple it is in theory to remember Allah in your hearts, to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your limbs, to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your tongues. Change that into akhirah. And there's no more dunya for you. Following. Oh, next question. Well, very fast, huh? What do we do when we have family members who openly do not want to perform salah? I also got family members when they don't want to perform salah. What do you do? Take rotan? No lah. Pray for them. Who guides? Do you think that we ourselves could have gotten this ability to pray in the first place? No. In fact, we also cannot pray. Who makes us pray? Allah. The one who guided you to prayers, ask that one who guide them to prayers. In a diplomatic manner, guide them, remind them, be nice to them, settle their needs first. Don't be harsh to them because you might be the only bridge. And there are some among us who have left Islam. They're born into a very safe family, but because of the rigidness that we show, and sometimes even converts, they marry into the Muslim family. The Muslim family will chase the convert away from Islam. What we do so much work to bring one, to invest so much time to bring one person into Islam is a lot of work, you know. And then here comes the Muslim family with all their telltales and everything, and they destroy everything that we have been doing as a community because of their flawed understanding. So pray for them, right? And be nice to them. And you need to understand people's ability to do certain things. Maybe you are a born Muslim, you're already fasting 30 days in Ramadan. It's easy for you because you'll be doing it. You can't expect a new convert. You already convert. No, you don't fast, you go to hell. These are the words that are thrown at them. This is real examples. You don't pray, you go to hell. But this fella just converted. What do you mean? No, in fact, he's in a faster route to heaven than you are. Right? So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be nice to people. You want to be strict on somebody, be strict on yourself first. Look into your lock. You do all the things against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but we want to pretend like we are some saint to other people. No, it doesn't work that way. Right? Be strict on yourself, be lenient to people. But as teachers, it's a different thing. You cannot say, oh, this teacher very strict. Teachers, let them be strict on you. Find the one that is firm upon you. Because if you don't have anyone to hold on to, everything will be flimsy. Your deen will be flimsy. So when you find someone who is there right in your face, gives you sharp remarks at your growth, take him or her. That's the best teacher for you. Don't always look at the one who always sayang you, make you laugh. Then your deen will be a joke. Your religion will be a joke. If you're looking at to be entertained through your teachers, then your deen will be a joke. Look for the one who really cares about your growth. Khair. If I'm in a bija relationship and I care for the person and feel the person is someone good, should I stop the relation if you're able to go and find means to meet up with the family and take that relationship to a serious level. Go and become committed to them. Right? Go and propose. Whether it's the man or the woman, it's okay, no problem. You don't need to be waiting for the man to always make the move. You can make the move also, right? And there is no such thing as friendship between the opposite genders. Number one, there is no casual friendship. Can I be friends with 10 girls just for the sake of friendship? No. There must be some form of professional reasons for it to be excused. Is it work? Is it project? Is it school? Is it colleagues? Then okay. There is no such thing as a man maintains a friendship with the person of the opposite gender with no intention of marrying her, or vice versa. You want friends? Go and find friends from your own gender. Other than that, of your colleagues which you respect and you cherish on a very professional level. Right? You can. I mean, it's good to respect and cherish each other, but there is no casual friendship. Like you just friends. Oh, I got a lot of girlfriend. I got a lot of boyfriend. No. Are you ready to transform that relationship into a serious relationship, into marriage? Then yes, go and get to know on a proper level. But other than that, no. All right. There is no adding random people on your IG and your Facebook. Oh, I'm just chatting up. But are you already engaged? Engaged already. Are you already married? Married already. Okay. For men, maybe 2, 3, 4. But are you capable of it? Are you capable of it? Not everyone can. And it's not allowed for everyone either. Right? But for a woman, you already married. You already engaged. Then what's the point of having boyfriends? In a casual sense. No. Your husband, and your professional colleagues. That's it. That's about all the communication that you need. Following. Right? So go and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also make the means to your parents. They say, look, bring it up. Sometime as parents, you are forever 10-year-old. You are forever 10-year-old. So sometimes maybe you're a sister, and you want to broach the topic about marriage to your father or your mother, especially if you are what do you call that, a brown girl. Maybe not easy. Maybe the father is oh, you better listen to me and all those things. It's not gonna be easy, but you need to do it at some point of time. You need to muster our courage, because you are not asking for something which is haram. It's okay, it's halal. But for the parents, even though you are 25, they still look at you as 10-year-old. You're still 10 years old in our eyes. So maybe they don't know that you have needs. Not everybody can sense everything, right? So you need to broach the topic and say, Father, look, there's this guy, he's praying, he's good, he's attending, he's earning well. Can you consider meeting him, or getting him over for a dinner or a drink, and then propose it seriously and bring that relationship forward. And there is no prerequisite that you're studying, you cannot get married. You can get married. Oh, I want to finish my degree. I want to finish my master. You want to finish a PhD. Then might as well you get married in heaven. Because halfway gone already. Now can be done. But of course, assess your situation. So bring it forward. And for the men also, men especially, or the boys, if you are not serious about somebody, don't go and play around with their feelings. Oh, you just wanna try out and get trophies on your medal. Oh, I have won over the heart of this girl and that girl. If you're not serious about somebody, don't go and break their hearts. If you know you're not suitable, you're just trying out because out of boredom, then you get ready to answer for breaking someone's heart. So if you're serious about somebody, go with it. Don't play around with people's heart. Same for women also. Okay, next. Is it true that we will... Last question. You can have private Q&A after if I miss anything. So is it true you go to hell first to cleanse our sin before going Jannah eventually? Inshallah, we'll all go to heaven. Keep on to pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our place is in heaven. Inshallah, with the mercy of God. As what you thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you think that He will put you into heaven, He will put us into heaven. But we make the means now. Right? Hellfire is really for the stubborn nuts who really is so hard to crack. After repeated reminders and access and opportunities to change our lives around, they are still stubborn about it. That's a different case altogether. But mashallah, inshallah, we are not in that category. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to throw us into heaven. He wants to throw us into heaven. Okay, last question. Finished. Class. Allahu alam wa ahkam. اللهم نطهر قلوبنا من غيرك ونغير قلوبنا بنور معرفتك يا الله I want to purify hearts ya Allah, remove everything other than you from the hearts and replace it with your nur ya Allah, with your ilm ya Allah. Ya Allah, bless the community of SMU Muslim Society for the great work that they're doing with abundance of barakah and tawfiq, and use this as a means, as an intercession that we meet our Prophet and we accepted us, that we carry this flag ya Allah, and we spread, and we did our part to spread the la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah ya Allah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. إلى سيدنا محمد المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم. الحمد لله رب العالمين.